Video games have been a great pastime, with the ability to develop story elements and graphics to new levels every year. However, recently, video games have been censored for being too violent, vulgar, and explicit. But why? These are just some of the video games that have been rejected, censored, and edited for Australian release. Many things were removed from these games. In 2001, thousands of copies of Grand Theft Auto 3 were sold before the game was rated, and then refused classification because players could pick up prostitutes. But the fact was that they wouldn't do anything except sit in a car. Since then, every GTA game has been edited before entering Australia.
Everyone's a rat! Not me.
On July 4, 2008, Fallout 3 was refused classification by the OFLC because of the realistic visual representation of drugs and the delivery method bringing the science fiction drugs in line with real-world drugs. So the game was revised and resubmitted to standards not breaking MA15+. It was later clarified that the only change made was that the drug morphine, which still appeared in the game, would instead be renamed Med-X. More recently, Left 4 Dead 2 was rejected because certain melee weapons, such as chainsaws, were considered too violent for people under the age of 18. But are video games about killing endless waves of zombies designed for young people? In 2007, there was a vote by the Committee of Attorney Generals to introduce an R18 rating for video games. The bill did not pass. Since then, many games with an adults-only rating internationally have been rejected, postponed, or redone for Australian release. Australia is now one of the few countries without an adult rating for video games. But why? Is it because they could influence people to engage in violent or sexually related crimes? Upon contacting the South Australian Police Chief Inspector Kim Thomas, he states that SAPOL simply does not keep statistics on the number of crimes associated with video games. Does this mean that video games are something the police don't worry about? I went and interviewed a very serious gamer who is strongly opposed to the fact that we don't have an adult rating for video games. Do you think video games are something people should worry about? No. The truth is that there are very few murders that occur in Australia each year, and none of them have any relation to video games. In countries such as the United States, there have been incidents where children committing crimes were claiming it was video games that influenced them, but were frequently disproven. In Australia, there has never been any such incidents. In fact, a study in Sydney was conducted that showed video games had only a slight effect on neglected, abused, or hyperactive children. If video games are bad influences on these kids, I don't think that games should be a priority to them or their families. I decided to go see a hardcore gamer friend of mine. He recently came first in a one-on-one Halo tournament at this year's AVCON. Do you know that on Bungie.net, your Halo 3 account states that you've accumulated over 81,500 kills from when you opened the account on the 12th of February 2008? For just one game, that's over 131 murders a day.
I would say I'm better than the terrorists.
Do you have a criminal record?
No.
Have you ever killed anyone?
No.